Hello, C.S. Lewis students. This is an introduction to your reading for The Four Loves. I appreciated your responses on Flipgrid. Most of you commented on how story is different from apologetics. Some of you stressed the conflict with that mode of thinking. I'd encourage you to look at each other's videos. They were really, really good. I did appreciate, too, Jasmine had some interesting remarks on how the chapter made her think about the current pandemic, and Macy picked up on the theme of immortality and the relation to the weight of glory. That will continue to be an important theme in the Four Loves and in the other works that we deal with. Well, I regret that we have only 2 class sessions on the Four Loves, but I think we can still do a good job with it. It was published in 1960, which was the year that Joy Davidman Lewis died. And you'll see that at the very end of the book, where he talks about resurrection and really the need for everything that's valuable on this earth to die before it can be resurrected in a new form and attain to immortality. I'm hoping that we have a guest with us on Wednesday. Let me see if I can get that up here. Yeah, here she is. She is trying to keep herself safe from everybody, but I thought it might be helpful to have her talk with us, probably without the mask, in view of the subject that we're dealing with. Judy helped me find this poem. It's in the Lenten book that she's using, and it's by C.S. Lewis. And I thought it was really quite profound and wanted to start off with that. It relates to various themes in the Four Loves. It takes its title from the first line, Love's as warm as tears. Love's as warm as tears. Love is tears. Pressure within the brain, tension at the throat, deluge, weeks of rain, haystacks afloat. Featureless seas between hedges where once was green. Love's as fierce as fire. Love is fire, all sorts. Infernal heat, clinkered with greed and pride. Lyric desire, sharp sweet, laughing even when denied. And that imperial flame whence all loves came. Love's as fresh as spring. Love is spring, birdsong in the air. Cool smells in a wood, whispering, dare, dare, to sap, to blood, telling ease, safety, rest are good, not best. Love's as hard as nails. Love is nails, blunt, thick, hammered through the medial nerves of one who, having made us, knew the thing he had done, seeing with all that is our cross and his. Well, I think this is a good Holy Week poem. Particularly for its end, but it takes us through all 4 elements. If you go back and read it carefully, you'll see that the 4 stanzas do not correspond to the 4 loves directly. I don't see affection or friendship clearly articulated in this poem. But stanzas 2 and 3 have a lot to do with eros, or romantic love, as you'll see. And this final stanza, stanza 4, goes to the foundation of agape, or maybe the heart of agape, the self-giving love of God through both creation and crucifixion. If you read those last 4 lines carefully, you'll see it's because God knew what he was doing in creating us, the thing he had done, that he knew he would have to die for us. And why does Lewis say it's our cross as well as his? Well, I think because of this theme of resurrection and immortality that runs through all of C.S. Lewis's work. But before the children can move further up and further in the last battle, they must die. All of the good things in this earthly life are earthly. They are mortal. They point to what is immortal, but to achieve immortality, they must die. And what's more, to try to hold on to the mortal or pretend that what is earthly can truly satisfy will turn the good things in life to bad. It is to make an idol of them. And that leads us to the first of 3 key concepts that Lewis talks about in the introduction in chapter 1, and that I want you to be aware of before you read the chapter on affection. First, love begins to be a demon the moment he begins to be a god. This quote appears on page 8, and I want to take you to the bottom of page 8, where Lewis says, "It must be noticed that the natural loves make this claim, that is the claim to divinity, not when they are at their worst, but when they are in their best natural condition." The reason it's so tempting to make a claim to deity, whether your love is that of affection or friendship or romantic love, is because you see those loves at their best. That is a central idea for this entire book. The natural loves, all of them, affection, friendship, and eros, are godlike. And though Lewis is critical of them on these grounds, he acknowledges their likeness to God. And that leads to a second key concept in the book, the difference between the nearness of likeness and the nearness of approach. He talks about this on page 10. First, he acknowledges the likeness of natural loves to divine love, their joy, their energy, their patience, their readiness to forgive, their desire for the good of the beloved. Friendship, affection, eros have all of these, but this nearness by likeness differs from nearness of approach. These loves are like God in some respects, but when they demand our total commitment, they show themselves to be rivals for God. And they don't just crowd out God, they crowd out other people, other interests, other responsibilities, other loves. In other words, when they become idols, they become false to their own true nature. "My family is everything to me," says the doting mother. "We've got to hold on to one another. We've got to hold on real tight. You know, we only have each other," say the lyrics of Love is Love. The loyalties of nation or tribe or sports team or political ideology, they can do the same. But this nearness of likeness to God isn't the same of nearness of approach. They don't really get us close to God in this way. And Lewis illustrates this through the analogy of a hiker who is overlooking his own village from high atop a crag. He may be near the village in spatial terms, but he cannot approach the village safely by simply jumping off the crag. His approach must take him a long way around in order to reach the village. And so it is with our natural loves. We can value their likeness to God-like love, but we must not believe the popular slogans and songs and films if we are to value them properly. The third key concept, which Lewis develops in the introduction in chapter 1, are the distinctions among need love, gift love, and appreciative love. The entire book begins by taking us through Lewis's process of writing. He had begun by thinking he could easily move from the selfishness of need love to the godlike quality of gift love. But he quickly realized that need love is indeed a true form of love, and our love for God must always be characterized by that need. So even our highest forms of love have roots in the lowest. The highest does not stand without the lowest, he admits, and this phrase runs throughout the book as well. Now, the most natural form of love, in Lewis's view, is affection. It begins at birth with the need of the child for the mother. Next, gift love is the longing to serve, to give of oneself, the mother's desire to give to her child, your wish to please your friends, the lover's service to the beloved. Appreciative love is the most disinterested form of love. Appreciative love, he explains on page 21, is the love that recognizes that something is very good, and we wish that it should continue being what it is, even if we cannot enjoy it. This love says to God, "We give thanks to thee for thy great glory." Its typical mode is praise. It holds the breath, says Lewis, and is silent, page 22. This is the kind of love we feel for great art, for a great athlete's performance, and for a beautiful woman or man for whom we don't feel any particular desire. It's even true in friendship, and there's a beautiful passage on page 91. In perfect friendship, this appreciative love is, I think, often so great and so firmly based that each member of the circle feels in his secret heart humbled before the rest. Well, with that introduction, I think you're ready to turn to the chapters on affection and friendship. As you read, try to come up with one insight from Lewis that you'd like to discuss when we have our guest with us on Wednesday. Perhaps it's something that relates to the three key concepts that I've just mentioned, or a quote that you find particularly insightful or problematic. Or maybe it's something that Lewis says that conflicts helpfully with something in our own culture. In any case, enjoy the book, and we'll get together on Wednesday.